Okay, Refiq is going to be a decentralized social media, and I will give you a quick overview about what we have done and what we have created. At first, we could make it available on Android app on Android phones, and we had different approach. And for creating for calling the smart contracts and submitting the transactions, we have implemented our own wallet, and we are going to call the transaction with the help of the Web3J. At the Refiq, it's about the topics. A topic is an NFT. Once you mint a topic as a topic owner, you have full control over the topic, and we are going to it, but by creating, by selecting a name for the topic, and the name is unique and belongs to the topic owner. And we are going to submit a transaction to the chain, and meanwhile the graph is listening to the contracts and will index the topic name. In next, we could start searching a topic, and for searching a topic, we've used the GraphQL, and you see the how on these two examples you see how the indexing is working. Also, you can create a post or a comment. For creating a post or a comment, we use the web3.storage, and they return us a CID. After that, we are going to submit this transaction, and the CID, which shows the file on IPFS to the chain. Also, you have this. I thought the most interesting part is the awarding a content. You can send golds to a post or comment, and the golds will be split between the post author, moderators, and the topic owner based on the share settings, which is determined by the topic owner. And the share settings is publicly available, and anyone can decide can view this share settings. Before I mentioned the moderators. Moderators can be added to a topic by the topic owner and rewarded based on the share percentage, which determined by the topic owner. A moderator will contribute to the topic and will be rewarded based on the settings that the topic owner determined. Go ahead, Arman. It's so next step.
Okay. Let me just talk about what is our vision for Refiq and what is we think that a good next feature to implement. The two main features that we are targeting are developing a DAO on Refiq and add some gamification to the platform. But let me start first with the gamification part. When a user award a content some ETH, it's going to get an equal amount of XP in return. The XP is used to determine which of the more, maybe we can call it premium feature of the application the user have access to. For example, based on the user XP, the user can have access to a wider range of profile pictures or other profile customization. Also we can, for example, have some sort of level which is going to show near the user profile, and moderators and topic owners can specify a minimum XP level for user to be able to send any content to their topic. And this way we can incentivize users more on awarding other contents that they like. But before I start discussing the DAO part, let me explain how actually the award is splitted on the platform. When the user sends a specific amount of ETH to the smart contract as an award, first the platform will be take its own split from the award and send into the DAO vault. The rest of the reward is going to get split between the topic author, the topic owner, and topic moderators based on the rules which are set by the topic owner. But what is the point of having these DAO vaults? The first benefit of it is it's added a way that prevents user from actually, you see, if we don't have this DAO vault, anybody can create a topic, set themselves as the moderator, send the content to it, and award themselves a lot of money. This way they can have a high level profile without actually spending any money on the platform. And this DAO would ensure that if anybody wants to do this, actually going to send some money to the platform itself. And Refiq DAO is going to be responsible for deciding how this money going to get spent. For example, it can define bounties for additional feature to the platform, or it can use it as a commission for artists to creating new profile pictures. Also, the DAO is responsible for platform for setting that what is the share of the platform from each award, or what is the threshold of the levels, and how much XP each one going to have. Okay, I think that was our presentation. If anybody has any question, I would be happy to answer it.
So one of the questions in the chat was your decision process for the hackathon that ultimately led you to build this specifically. Did you have other ideas, and what made you land on this idea?
Actually, at the start of the hackathon, me and Farzan only we were sure that we were going to build some sort of social media. We wanted to start more with something more of a messenger, but after just speaking a little bit and talking it over, we found out that maybe something like a Reddit would be a good fit for a decentralized social media. Yes.
Yeah, the second question is, did you know ahead of time you were going to use the graph? And on top of that, why did you choose to use the graph in your project? Was it just the bounty, or was it solving a problem?
No. Actually, the graph, I think right now is the only solution that you have to be able to not storing everything in the smart contract storage itself, but provide the functionality for the user to actually view that information, view the information which is stored in the log files, and query on those information. This way, by using those, for example, the ID of each post only in the log of the chain, we were able to reduce the cost of each transaction significantly. Also, having the ability to search on the topic is not something that I'm aware of any way to implement it without having some sort of centralized server or using the graph. So we actually use the graph to be able to provide similar feature to other Web2 app social networks.
Very cool, very cool. Now, did you just use like indexing of events, or did you also index like file data services on your subgraph? I assume that maybe you did some good with that.
Right now we are indexing the events by indexing the events for topic, post, and the comments. We have each have their own entity, which is going to mutate based on the events from the graph. We also was planning to using the IPFS integration to be able to actually check the content of the actual, because the post itself is going to be stored on the IPFS to reduce the whole cost of reduction, and only the CID is going to get sent to the as a transaction log. So we was planning to using the IPFS feature integration with the graph integration with IPFS, but unfortunately we couldn't find any DAG JSON library for Android and Kotlin. Right now we are storing basically plain JSON files, and we are planning to do the implementation in Kotlin, so be able to use that feature to actually be able to search on the post content itself. But right now we are the current state of the product only relying on handling the events.
Great, thank you. Any other questions? Very, very cool. All right, great. So I think now what we'll do is we'll pass the mic over to Simone. Simone is the lead DevRel engineer for Edge and Node, working on the graph. And yeah, I'm really excited to have him talk about really just how we judge hackathons. And, for anyone who's, thinking about submitting for a project upcoming, maybe for ETH Global Istanbul or some of the online hackathons, he'll be able to shed some light on what we look for, right? So it's all you, Simone.
Hey, hi. Can you hear me? Can you hear me well?
Yeah, sounds good.
Perfect. Yeah. I'm already here in Istanbul. Like the event already starts, or like some side events. So I'm here from the hotel. Very cool project, Refiq. Thank you so much for presenting. Yeah, I mean, like at judging, how can I say? I mean, like for this ETH Global one, I think it was 73 regions that we had to go through. So what it lies is pretty much how they are built. Since the graph is a technical protocol, our first focus is on actually the quality of using of the graph. So if people write subgraphs, if they use the good patch, or if they do the graph, if they have like if they use also the best patterns. We can go into this. I can show some examples. Yeah, but it's also always generally very exciting to see like how people use the graph if what they come. Yeah, and then we go in there, and then in the end we kind of have like a short list and of the ones that are so-called contenders, and then we go on another session, all judged together, and then we kind of find out which are the best ones. In the last round, also other qualities go in, like innovation or how well is the product actually built. So that counts, but it's not like the first thing that we look at, because like that these are the qualities that they want to see for the main finalists, right? Does that make sense so far? Otherwise, I would jump into code directly. If anybody has questions.
So for me, you're cutting out just a little bit here and there. So maybe I would suggest turning off your video. And if you're going to share your screen, just try that.
All right. Thanks. Let's share screen. Yes. Interesting. I can optimize for text readability. Let's see how this goes. So do you see
Yep.
my browser here?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Cool. So that's Refiq. So what we do usually is like we quickly probably read through this. But since we heard from them, yeah. Right. Okay. All right. Let's look at the source.
Hey, Simone, you are cutting out just a little bit for me.
Let's look.
For anyone else.
See if I can do something here. Okay, is it better now?
Seems a little better.
You don't know? Okay, all right. I'll just continue. Okay, all right. Okay, so I look at the subgraph. So the first thing that I look in is the subgraph YAML. Like that's how I generally I start to kind of look at the subgraph. So here we already see like that this has a lot of events. Like this is basically a good sign, I would say. Although here another subgraph could have more like other or contracts maybe, or even file data sources or something like that. That's not here. But like there's a lot of events. It's already good. Then I jump to the schema, which is the second thing to give me an overview. So here I see, for example, they use full text search, so that already gives points. So we like that. It's kind of an advanced feature. It really shows the power of subgraphs. They use full text search and also interfaces. It is that's just nice GraphQL. We don't see interfaces that often, so that gave points here, and so I like that also. That's interfaces. You have like entities, linked entities, which is something that we like to see. Yeah, I would say like that's what I can say out of this schema. So it looks to me like this person, like Arman probably, it's not the first time that they wrote a subgraph, or at least have like familiarity with GraphQL. Okay, let's go into the mappings. In the mappings, yeah, they are like kind of not super crazy, but they do what they need to do. Yeah, like so they go through each event. If then they load the entity from the store. If it does not exist, it will be created. Although here we might want to have more helper functions. So yeah, that's like it's a good subgraph. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, we like that it has removes here. So keeping the database tidy also is something that I think is good practice. So overall, I would say that it is a good subgraph. Like it's not super fancy, but it's a solid and good subgraph. So that already gives gives some points. Right, and then, but this one actually got the prize for the best usage of the subgraph actually. So let's look at the usage. If I remember correctly, it was somewhere in source main GraphQL here, yes. Yeah. So then this is actually really nice. So first of all, here we liked that it's that's Android app. Also kind of to showcase a little bit the graph as like it's very useful also when you're on Android. It's not only for web, so that's cool. Then that seems to me like that's very good. Best practices of GraphQL, having like separated GraphQL files, using GraphQL variables here. That looked actually pretty good, and also the search is cool. And I think here you downloaded the whole schema. Yeah, you probably download the whole schema in order to have like the tooling ready. I don't remember that other, but it's actually queried then. So I can search for details. Yeah, I'm so sorry about my internet.
Oh, it's a lot better now. So whatever you did fixed it. So
Yeah, I'm using this app called Fi, where you can bundle a Wi-Fi and a 3G connection. And now I went over to the redundant mode, which sends like each TCP package through both channels, and the one that arrives will be there. So that usually it kind of like it's a bit more expensive, but like yeah. So here, right? Okay. So here we see how they actually send these queries. So using Apollo client, that's also like what we like to see, kind of using like proper GraphQL query tooling, and then also well executed with variables and stuff. So this really kind of that can even like be used as an example repository for people want to use the graph in Android that we will that we can share with them. So like, look, here you can look. These are the patterns. It uses Apollo. It has a subgraph. It's a monorepo. It's queried properly. So yeah, well done. Congratulations to the team. And this is how we run through the judging here.
very cool. Thank you for walking through that, Simone. It's even interesting for me because I haven't actually judged Hackathon yet, so it's really cool to see what we look for. And yeah, that was a really cool subgraph, Refiq. So thank you guys. Any questions for Simone about the judging process or anything else that he covered? Someone's typing. We'll give them a second here. What time is it there in Turkey now?
It's 8:34. Nice. Yeah. I wanted to thank you for your invitation and spending the time, and it was an honor for me to be participated for this meeting.
Oh, we're honored to have you. So yes, thank you.
Okay, Mike.
The questions.
Mike had a question.
Yep, go for it.
Sorry. But yeah, like yeah, there's a point system. It basically goes by, okay, you just use a subgraph, simple, then you have 1 point, then you start to use this more complex stuff that I said, like what was it, full text search, entity relationships, then getter and setter, and so on and so forth, and this all gives points, and then in the end we go after the ones that have the most points, and go back for that. So basically we look at the complexity of the subgraph, and this similar to querying, like you get 1 point if you just somehow are able to send over one query with just simple HTTP request. But as I said, like as soon as we see like proper tooling, Apollo, or using advanced features like graphical variables, or there are even like sometimes we see stuff that we don't even know, and then that gives like that even inspires us, right, as judges, how people approach a problem. Then that gives points, and so in the end we start to compare between these points. We think about to publish this point system, but I'm also not 100% sure if it makes sense, because I think it's good if people do naturally work on a subgraph that solves their problem, and not trying to just point hunt and make the subgraph unnecessarily complex. That being said, we also know, like, and now I said it publicly, that a complex subgraph would get more points. So I don't know. But it's also small groups. So here's the alpha.
Great. Any other questions for Simone or the people from Refiq? Awesome. So,
No, thank you. Thanks for the explanation.
yeah, no problem. We were going to have Dashvids on, but they couldn't make the time. It was just a little too late for them. So we're going to try to get them on next week, hear about their project. But yeah, thank you everyone for coming. We'll just go ahead and keep the office hours open for the next 20 minutes or so. So if you guys want to, ask any questions or just chat about anything related to the graph, feel free to hang out. Otherwise, we will see you guys next week. So thank you guys.